In our stream this past Wednesday, we talked about Commander Masters, which is the latest big set. As of right now, we're about a week out from Wilds of Eldraine being released, and then it's on to whatever the next set is. But in our stream this past Wednesday, we did talk about Commander Masters, and we also had a little bit of a discussion about the reserve list and overprinting of cards that aren't reserve list. I'm sure you've seen with a lot of recent products, if a popular card gets reprinted, think of a card like Smothering Tithe, it's most likely going to get 3 or 4 different reprints. It may get an etched reprint. It may get a full art reprint. It may get a judge reprint earlier in the year. It may get reprinted in multiple sets that year. There's so much overprinting, and in this stream we talk a little bit about that as well. If you do enjoy the stream cut by the end, click like and subscribe, and definitely come hang out on Wednesdays at 6:30 Pacific. Come check out a stream live and be part of the conversation. Until next time, see you later. All right, so what price did you start buying Commander Masters set booster boxes? So right now, I spelled booster way too long, like a ghost. 260s, 270s. Commander Masters set box 309s. Jeez. Okay. So, what price would you start buying these? Well, let's talk about it. I'm not looking for actual purchase advice. I'm just curious how far Commander Master set boxes need to drop to start triggering purchases. Maybe this is someone who's a store. Hard to tell. I'm seeing 200s in chat. Yeah, I guess chat. We could find out from you. What do you think? Let's find we've talked at length about what is in this set, so there's not going to be any sort of discussion of, like, outside of Jeweled Lotus, Doubling Season, the free spell cycle. There's a lot of cards in it. There's medallions, there's some stuff that people like, but there's also a bunch of stuff that's pretty janky. It's a big set as well. So this person says, I'm not looking for purchase advice. I'm just curious how far Commander Master set boxes need to drop to start triggering purchases. I was up early this morning and saw 3 boxes of set boosters on TCG for $260 and still did not buy. Someone did because they disappeared in minutes, but all I kept thinking was, it's still not low enough. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just stuck on when previous Commander boxes went for $240 thoughts. So, you know, it really, for me, and we can go in here and we're going to talk about some stuff. I do want to highlight this because anybody who might be new, who doesn't know, MTG is pretty notorious for having big Amazon dumps. Now, some people say that their products come up. Some people say that the products come up tampered, and we've seen videos online where products are tampered with. But yeah, massive dumps. So Black Friday, that's where I would be looking if I were waiting for a good price on Commander Masters in the short term. In the long term, you know, with the overprinting of sets, with overprinting of singles, like we were talking about, why I like reserve list, because when I look at my sets of cards, when I look at everything that I have all my binders in the TCG app. When I look at my binders and I go, you know, like, oh, let's see where these cards are at, and I'm like, wow, this binder was worth $3,000, now it's worth, you know, $1,750. If I'm able to look at those cards and not see that monetary value, which is really difficult for me, then whatever. I didn't sell anything, nothing changed in my life, right? But when I look at my reserve list binders and I'm like, okay, this is a binder that was worth, let's say that binder's worth $4,000. That reserve list binder has gone through much less of a dip. That binder might be worth like $3,500 or $3,750. Everything might have come down a little bit, but all of my other singles, now granted, some of the cards, they fall in and out of the limelight, right? Like, for example, a Tarmogoyf or a Dark Confidant. Cards like those that used to be staples, Thoughtseize, back when Thoughtseize was a really expensive card, cards like those, they used to have a high price tag. But reprints and then also power creep have forced some of those cards out. So clearly, stuff that's modern, legal stuff that's in different formats like Pioneer, meta is going to shift, and so some of those cards are going to drop in price because the meta has shifted, and now those cards are no longer super valuable because people aren't playing them. A good example right now is the price adjustment that Ragavan has gone through because of Orcish Bowmasters. So when you think about that, music is super loud. Yeah. All right, let's turn the music down. Oh my god, you know why, chat? I've had music turned all the way up. This is embarrassing. All right. Oh man, this stream is going to be like unwatchable for the first half. Unbelievable. We're in a much better spot. He turns the mic volume down but leaves the music blast, says William. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, bro. Okay. No way. Human error is great. Yeah. No, we're in a good spot. Okay, so did anybody hear what I was saying? Or was that music just overpowering everything and no one heard of a fucking thing that I saw? No, it was fine? Okay. All right, so people heard some of it. All right, but you'll just hear it. You'll hear it better now. Okay. This is solid content. I appreciate you, Darth. All right. Brody's saying it wasn't that bad. Okay. All right. All right, we're in a good spot. Reserve list binder. Yes. Thank you, chat. Reserve list binder has gone through a lot less of a dip, right? Much less. And so yeah, when I'm looking at all my cards and I'm looking at how power creep has forced some of the cards out, like Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidant, I'm thinking either A, I don't need to be buying any new cards unless I want to put cards in a deck. Or I'm like, if I buy a sealed product like the one we're going to open, I did buy on an Amazon dump. It was a third off from what it normally is. And so, like, if that's how I'm engaging with products now, like I'm barely buying sealed, which is crazy. I just have seen the change. I'm trying to report on the change, I guess, is kind of like where I'm at right now with this stream. Is like I'm looking at Commander Masters, which is a product that old Jake would have absolutely gone ape shit for. And I'm like, new Jake doesn't care. And that's so crazy to just have that reaction because the variants are cool. I don't know. I think because Magic is a curse mark, right? It really is this thing where like you feel it burn deep within you when you haven't played for a long time and you're like, you know what? I want to, even if you're just getting the cards out to build the deck. So I think maybe I'm just going through a little bit of like a down phase with it. But I never have, honestly, I can really point it back to 30th Anniversary Edition, which is crazy because I sound like the crazy guy on the mountain, like 30th Anniversary Edition, you did me dirty. I didn't buy any of it. I didn't engage with it because it was an insane product to engage with. Just an opinion. If you bought it, no judgment. No judgment. A little bit of judgment, but no judgment. It's just weird. It's weird. And I'm happy that Dirty 30. Oh, Jank. Oh, shit. This is why I pay you the big bucks. I don't pay Jank any of the bucks. I wish I had the bucks to pay Jank, but I don't pay Jank any of the bucks. But Dirty 30, baby. That's, I mean, there's no better way to say it. It made me feel weird about like being like, oh God, you know, why am I even parking money in reserve list? I'm like, why would I buy an extra copy of Grim Monolith, for example? I have 2 copies of it. And it puts me in a situation where I'm like, why would I buy a second one? Maybe that was the entire idea. I don't know. Let's keep going through this this post here because we were talking about Commander Masters. When is the best time to buy these boxes? Boxes right now are like low around like 260s. Some folks in chat. MTG Gaming Bob, what's up? Long time no see. I see $100 for collectors, $200 for set, $150 for draft, $100 for collectors, like $25 a pack. I mean, if it got that low, I would probably have a hard time jumping in, to be not jumping in, to be honest. But I don't think we'll see that price. $200 for set. That's probably like where I would go. $200 for set. What is that per pack? That's 24 packs. $8 a pack for a premium set. It does have some good reprints. And $150 for draft. I mean, these are probably close, which is why it has a lot of upvotes. Frankly, I think very little in this set is going to rebound with the rapid pace of reprints Wizards is pumping out. I was going to pick up Doubling Season at 30, but now with the Eldraine, Wilds of Eldraine news, I'll wait for 15 or less. If they can get Doubling Season down to 15 or less, that's great. That's great for players. This is why I like the reserve list, because if you keep the reserve list intact, I'm actually on board with whatever the hell else they want to do, because clearly that's what they're going to do anyway. So it's like you kind of just have to lean in and be like, okay, I can engage with draft boxes. With Commander Masters, it's different because it's this like up a tier, right? It's different realm. It's in these cards are expensive on the secondary market, although we're not going to talk about that. We just happen to put a bunch of expensive reprints into the set. And there's some that aren't that expensive. And that's why there's a plethora of different stuff in each of these sets. I like this take. I would likely buy a single collector booster just for fun. As a longtime EDH player, there just isn't much in here for me. I spent roughly 40 on all new sliver. You know what? Here is the poll. And I just want, because it's anonymous, just be completely honest here. I like data. I like getting data together. So let's see where the data goes. If Commander Masters had serialized cards, would you have bought it? Pretty simple. Then there's a couple different options in there. There's yes, there's no. There's I would have bought more, implying that you bought some already, but if it had serialized cards, you would have been more interested in it. And then I don't care about serialized cards. Thank you so much for jumping in there, chat, and making your choice known. And I'll check back on this poll in a little bit. I have enough cereal on top of my fridge. There we go, Brody. Yes. Yes. I have too much cereal. Oh man, I need to... How do I make a joke that tops that? I have too much cereal that I am just thinking about right now that I want to eat, and maybe I'll go buy some after the stream. We'll just rewind and pretend that I didn't say that. I bought a draft box to draft with friends. Very nice to draft. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're like, hey guys, let's get over, we're gonna do an expensive draft tonight. We're doing an expensive draft, folks. I could get in on that. I'm like, what are we doing tonight? Bring over some beers. We're having a draft of Commander Masters. Maybe one of us will get lucky and pull a Jeweled Lotus and we'll pay for our draft. You know? I can get in on that. Cloudy Skies talks about Doubling Season coming up in Wilds of Eldraine. That's always a good thing to think about too, especially if you are buying cards. Look at the next set. Look at previous sets. See if the previous set telegraphed a card that was going to get a reprint. I mean, we could go back with hindsight and we could be like, okay, so Doubling Season pops up here. It's popping up in Wilds of Eldraine. I mean, look at the Great Henge. I mean, there's so many cards. God, we need to put together a list of cards that telegraphed. Is it Judge promos? Maybe Judge promos are where we need to look first. I actually canceled my pre-order of a collector box. I think if it had some serialized in them, I would have kept it. Okay. Bought a draft box. I would care about serialized if I got one, but I'm not going to chase for it. I mean, that's where I'm at. I appreciate serialized, but I'm between jobs, so the cost is simply not feasible. I totally feel that. Yeah, I asked this great question, then I didn't listen to anything chat had to say, which shows that I'm a terrible, terrible streamer, and I'm going to fix it right now. I'm rectifying it. By the end of this, I will be absolved. If reserve list goes, this game will become Yu-Gi-Oh! Immediately. Yes. 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 You and I are going to go for lunch. We're going to go get a great lunch. Thorbear says, where's this $30 Doubling Season? It's in the future. in the future. Or wait, maybe they are implying that they saw it for 30. Let's see. Let's see what the Bay of Ebes has to say about it. I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, that's honestly pretty sexy, right? $33 foil Japanese doubling season. It's kind of attractive. We all know what it does. I find this card attractive. I would have kept my pre-order. Yeah, Nuge Judge promos are trash. Only basic lands. Yeah, I do feel bad for judges on that one. Poll has 69 votes. Very nice. I don't care about serialized cards because I'm not a collector. I'm just a player. I feel serialized cards are rare. I feel serialized cards and rare alt art could be the good compromise for collectors, but WotC likes to go overboard. I think if they just toned back the variants in certain products, they wouldn't feel the need to come up with new variants all the time. And the more different kinds of foils, surge, confetti, textured, the more people are not going to care when you come up with a new foil. What a concept. If I come up with all these new foils and there's no end or limit to the number of foils I come up with, people aren't going to care about it. What a idea.